Well, as a researcher, how did you prepare yourself? Because, like what you said, it's a very sensitive topic. Approaching a possible victim or someone who actually did say that she's a victim, how did you prepare yourself for what lies ahead just before you actually went to the different communities and got the
we had a team of people who were doing the interviews as well, so they underwent a training. We had a clinical psychologist who came and talked to them as well about how to talk to people who might be undergoing some kind of a distressing moment, what to do in those kinds of situations, and if people ask for help, what do you do, how do you give information, and the sort of ethics of kind of dealing with those kinds of situations. And one of the fundamental rules is that you don't do it without their consent and full understanding of what they're getting themselves into. So that there was that training that everybody had to undergo.
Yeah. Well, from your experience, and also because sadly we can't deny the fact that this is least talked about, is there a common denominator when it comes to people who have experienced statutory rape, or people who is close to someone who has been sexually abused? Is there a common denominator? Do you actually see the demeanor? So for someone who might suspect someone is like,
I wish it were that easy. I mean, are you asking me whether there's a particular type?
No, not really type, but after the experience, is there a common denominator for them? Some people say it's a trust issue, but of course, if you're researching, the trust issue doesn't come in to play.
Yeah, on the part
you learn that when you get into more close relationship with a person, more interaction. But is there a common, like some people say there's like a blank look, a loss of like looking into the future, like the feeling that you're damaged goods is sadly also they're saying.
That's hard because in some ways each situation is very unique and very particular and specific. But the point about the damaged good, even if the girls do not necessarily feel like that, what was really sad was that the community saw the girl as damaged, and that I think is something that's really sad, because often it was the whole attention was on the girl. The perpetrator usually kind of got away with it, right? The perpetrator continues to live a fairly, I mean, I wouldn't say easy life, but is not seen as damaged, or is not seen as particularly horrific. It's the girl's life which is under scrutiny, and the sort of the blame is on the girl or the girl's family, that the girl's family did something wrong, the girl did something wrong. So the scrutiny is very much on the girl. That you could see across the board, and I think that's a very, very sad situation.
Before we officially ran out of time, Doctor, if you don't mind, to our everyone watching right now, if you could tell them how to deal with sadly people who have been victimized, if they know someone, what should they do? There's a great amount of sensitivity that needs to come into play, and sadly not all of us has got that sensitivity. But what can they do, basic as a person?
I think seek help for one thing, and there are places that you can go to seek help. There could be medical help that the person requires, psychological help, all of that, and people should try to seek help. But most importantly, I think, referring to that earlier point I made as well, not letting the person feel that this is the end of her life, or that somehow that she has, she's damaged, or there's no going forward, or no moving more on from this. I think giving that support is what is most important, and that anyone can do. You don't have to be a professional, you don't have to be a expert. Anyone can do that.
You just have to be a person.
You just have to be a person who'll accept.
Wonderfully said. Well, sadly we would have to let you go, Doctor, but thank you very much, and all the best, and we hope to have you back and more conversation with you. And thank you for coming today, and we'll take a very short break. When we come back, got a very interesting conversation, so please do stay with us. This is GMSL. Welcome back to Good Morning Sri Lanka. For those joining us, it is the 22nd of November. It is a Thursday, folks, and I'm very happy to have with us also inside the studio two lovely guests. And let me just show their little booklet that they gave me. The Girls Worldwide World Association of Girl Guides and Girl Scouts. And a little bit of a story or history. It was 1907 that when the scouting phenomenon was started by Robert Baden-Powell. But then in 1909, he felt that the girls should have their own, and hence the birth of the Girl Scout movement. In a nutshell, we have with us, sitting in our lovely couch, is the Development Executive Asia Pacific region of the World Association of Girl Guides and Girl Scouts. We have Grace Tam. Good morning.
Ayubuan.
Oh, Ayubuan. And closest to yours truly, and let me just say, I'm just very happy and honored and privileged to have with us inside the studio the Development Executive Asia Pacific region of the World Association of Girl Guides and Girl Scouts from the lovely island of Mindanao in the Philippines. Of course, this is Catherine Ann Charcos.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning, magandang umaga.
Magandang umaga.
Magandang umaga. That's good morning in Tagalog or in Filipino. Okay, so you two lovely ladies are here for a very special, is it a conference, an anniversary for the Girl Guides and Girl Scouts of Sri Lanka? What brought you to the country?
We are actually here for a partnership visit with the Sri Lanka Girl Guides Association. We do this every 3 years. So last time I was here in 2009, and we come here to learn from the Sri Lanka Girl Guides Association what they have been doing, especially what they have been doing really well, address the challenges together, and we also share with them what we have learned from other parts of the region especially, and from what we learn from Sri Lanka Girl Guides, we will also bring to other countries.
Okay. Yes. Before I ask you about the initial difference that you see from your visit in 2009 to your visit now, let me ask Kat here. So, was it how did you receive the invitation of coming to Sri Lanka? Was it did you know about this happening? Ready, all set and good to go? Or
I was pretty much excited to learn that I will be coming here because Sri Lanka Girl Guides Association is one of the organizations which have always been in the forefront of the girl guiding, girl scouting movement. In fact, it has just celebrated its 95th birthday. So whereas WAGS is 100 years old, Sri Lanka is 95 years old. So really you see that it's a leader in terms of developing young girls and women. So
the mission here reads to enable girls and young women to develop their fullest potential as responsible citizens of the world. Now, Grace, from your visit in 2009, what do you expect? What different experience do you think you'll have this time? The initial changes that you've seen so far?
Actually, I was here one more time last year.
Okay.
Yeah. So